Welcome back. Minister for Health Mary Isaac says although there is yet to be a breakthrough in the race for a COVID-19 vaccine, preparations have already begun for its rollout. According to the minister, St. Lucia has been fortunate to be one of the few countries to qualify for a quantity of free vaccines once they become available. But the Ayanola Council for the Advancement of Rastafari, ICA, strongly objects to the move and says it will mount protests against any mandatory rollout of a COVID-19 vaccine. Jacques Wooding has more.
According to Health Minister Mary Isaac, following recommendations by the Pan American Health Organization that countries need not wait for the development of a COVID-19 vaccine in order to prepare for its arrival, local authorities have begun preparations to procure and distribute the COVID-19 vaccine. It has been disclosed by the Pan American Health Organization that through the COVAX Fund, participating countries will be guaranteed initial doses to cover at least 3% of their population in the initial phases of deployment, and as supplies catch up with the global demand, eventually reaching 20% of their population.
Well, like all other countries, we are waiting to see what's going to happen, and as soon as they have a vaccine, we are also a member of PAHO, so we are in line to get in whatever it is that is going to come down to those countries. Already they are preparing for when it rolls out. So we are there, we are waiting, and we will be informed of how, it's going to roll out.
As for St. Lucia's involvement with the COVAX Fund, the minister says the island has been lucky to qualify for free vaccines. As for how many, however, a determination is yet to be made.
Well, right now they do not have a formula as yet because that would depend on a lot of things. All we know is that we are prepared whenever they're ready to roll it out, that we are prepared to participate.
Meanwhile, one civil society group has expressed its full opposition to any mandatory rollout of a vaccine when it is made available to St. Lucia. According to President of the Ayanola Council for the Advancement of Rastafari, Aaron Alexander, vaccines are contradictory to the way of life and belief of Rastafarians, and if any move is made to force it on them, there will be protest.
For us, we could only speak on behalf of the Rastafari community. And for us as Rastafari, these are things that we are very wary of because we know of the history of vaccines and what vaccines, continue to do to people. We are saying from the onset, the Rastafari community, we will not be accepting this vaccine. We are totally against this thing, and people have a right to decide whether they will accept this vaccine or not, and it should not be a mandatory thing of vaccination in any country.
COVID-19 vaccine trials are currently ongoing in many countries. Jacques Wooding, Hot 7 News.
Nothing was off limits when Father Albert Smith agreed to get into the hot seat and face the burning questions from host Crystal Riviere. Father Albert is no stranger to the internet. After all, his homilies often go viral. But Wednesday night was an explosion across traditional electronic media and social media. Father Albert was pulling in thousands of people on the Hot 7 TV Facebook page, and that's not even counting the thousands of viewers on our Caribbean Hot FM mobile app and on television. The viral Catholic priest, who is the assistant parish priest for Soufrière, spoke about his early life and life before the priesthood, including his previous dating and social life.
So it is good. It is a good thing to actually date. It's a good thing to hang out after work. I remember when I was working in Castries on a Friday, I hung out after work. I did the Friday Lime. I went to Grosley Night. I went to Ancillary Fish Fry, So it's a good thing because you need to have a fully developed human being, but not to hide behind religion.
And Father, dating meant engaging in the sin of the flesh?
Sin of the flesh. I'll reserve this one.
The Catholic priest has been called out in some circles for being a quote-unquote mépris-giving priest. He says if his homilies are hitting a nerve, then those who feel offended need to take stock of their lives.
When I started preaching, there are many persons who are not comfortable with it. And there are many persons who says, oh, Father, kahiti pawal bao. And I said to people, mamem kone tu, kimanye masa hiti pawal bao. You understand? You know, so if you find Father is throwing words at you, it means that there's something in your life that you need to look at. There is something in your life that needs changing. There is something in your life that needs addressing because Father is touching a nerve. Father is pinching a nerve. So at the end of the day, it means that I am achieving my purpose. I am achieving my goal because I'm causing you to reflect. Now, many times when persons would be angry, it is because they are so comfortable with where they are, they do not want to effect the change.
Following his record-setting night on television, Father Albert Smith expressed to Hot 7 TV his jubilation that his candid conversation on a wide range of issues garnered so many views. In other news, local activist Catherine Seelys believes that the current judicial system may be a breeding ground for clever criminals. Seelys says, although there is a forensic lab on the island, there seems to be a void as it relates to processing forensic evidence in a manner that would prove useful in solving crimes.
For the families of victims, as well as members of the wider public who are keen on justice, the outcome of rape, homicide, and suspicious death cases continue to be anticipated. The presence of a forensic science laboratory on the island has given some hope, whereby it is expected that samples can be processed in a timely and efficient manner without the costs or long waits associated with overseas processing. However, local activist Catherine Seelys says this is far from the reality.
Sometimes you ask yourself, it's this St. Lucia because people die, people go missing, people die under very strange circumstances. To date, we have a fully equipped forensic laboratory, lack of expertise. We do not have a toxicologist. The toxicology report usually take a number of years. Sometimes the specimen expires. And all this adds to the lack of justice in St. Lucia and how broken the justice system is.
She believes that until there is a fully functional forensic lab, authorities will continue to struggle with a long list of cold cases.
Until these things are fixed, we're going to get people dying unusually, and we don't know why. We're going to get people disappearing because murderers know they can get away with things like that because the system is not working. $40 million or more later, we have a forensic laboratory like a trophy. It's not functioning. We're still sending specimen overseas. Then we still don't have money to send specimen overseas. We choose who specimen we send overseas, and justice continues to be violated.
Seelys says as hundreds of families continue to wait for justice as they grieve their lost loved ones, it is worrying to anticipate that St. Lucia could welcome yet another year without a forensic science lab. Jacko Wooding, Hot 7 News.
Endorsed Senator of the St. Lucia Labour Party, Lisa Jawahir, is opening up about her disappointment of not getting the chance to be sworn in as an official senator and member of the upper house. Jawahir says it's a shame that the backhanded antics of the UWP administration got in the way of the country's business.
Whilst supporters and members of the St. Lucia Labour Party have expressed general feelings of anger, sadness and shock, to name a few, over what they say is the mismanagement of the island by the current administration, one member is expressing another negative feeling over a missed opportunity. Lisa Jawahir has been endorsed to become one of the party's senators. She was due to be sworn in last week Thursday before the upper house sitting in the House of Assembly. However, this did not happen, as on the day, members of the opposition refused to attend the sitting as a form of protest against the attempt to pass the controversial COVID-19 Prevention and Control Bill. Jawahir said the entire ordeal left her feeling disappointed.
I really took my time to register my thoughts, and there were some parts of the bill that I really wanted to address in that Senate sitting, but unfortunately it did not go the way we would have expected. As expected, the opposition has an opportunity to voice its concerns. So yes, Riani, I am disappointed that I did not get to do that, but there will be other opportunities to do so.
Jawahir made it clear that the choice to stay away from the sitting was not against her will. She indicated that her moral responsibilities took precedence.
Honorable Philip JPA is the one who appointed me to be a senator on behalf of the St. Lucia Labour Party, and he did call us into consultation, and it was discussed that we would register our concerns with St. Lucians, and so as a result we were not able to attend the Senate sitting. As a young person who insists on abiding by the rules that govern St. Lucia, it makes me want to question the rest of the rules that we have that are supposed to govern this country. If we find in a house sitting that we have an order paper and this is what is supposed to abide as it relates to the Erskine May laws that govern the House of Parliament, and you find a situation where persons are sitting and there's no quorum and persons are being sworn in, I have never heard of such, I have never witnessed such, and I was very surprised that even persons who are supposed to be part of the legislative corps of St. Lucia would allow something like that to go on.
Jawahir is currently the SLP's only female endorsed senator. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Rochelle Gonzalez.
This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Stay with us. There's more after the break.